Hello and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. We're here at the Cambridge Los Angeles showroom in West Hollywood. I'm Danny De Lillo and we're here with Erica Watson with her movie Roubado. Let's take a look at a clip.
Alain, j'allais te le dire. J'attendais juste le bon moment, c'est tout.
You may pay.
Arrête avec ça. Ton père et moi, on va jamais se remettre ensemble, d'accord?
Il nous aime.
Gaspard aussi, il nous aime. Et c'est un homme bien. Et il est bon pour nous. Alain, tu veux pas être heureux?
Mãe,
Quoi?
preciso de falar contigo.
Tu veux parler de quoi?
Je pense qu'on devrait tous se parler.
Gaspard.
Élabore une photo, hein?
Quelle bonne idée. Prends une photo, mon chéri.
Attends. Ça, c'est mieux. Attends. Prends-en une autre.
Erica, it's amazing to have you here.
It's amazing to be here.
Tell us a brief synopsis of your film.
Roubado tells the story of an Afro-Portuguese teen photographer living in the south of France who's struggling with the presence of his mother's new boyfriend.
I didn't quite realize, Erica, the journey you were going to take me on watching that film. Truly amazing. It was brilliantly written and directed. How did you come about the idea?
I wrote that film in 2012 in a screenwriting class at USC. We just had an assignment of writing a 12-page script. The teacher is Tiger Williams, who is the writer of Menace to Society.
Oh, wow.
By the way.
Wow.
And I really have a passion for coming-of-age stories for Black male youth because I have two nephews who are 18 and 20. And I remember when they were these cute little kids, and now they're grown and they have girlfriends and they've gone off to school. And I thought it would be interesting to try to chronicle an exact moment of change in a person's life when their eyes are open to the world. Roubado takes place in Cannes because Cannes is where I had my coming of age, and this is a coming of age story. The first time I went to Cannes, I was 20 years old. And I was so green, I didn't even know what to do. My mother had to write for me in a notebook the steps that you follow when you go through an airport. And to arrive at a different place and to meet Black people who looked like me but had a completely different story was something that really opened up my eyes to the world. It was something that I understood intellectually, but when I saw it, it made me feel that I could do anything.
Wow.
James Baldwin has a quote, he says, I encountered a lot of people in Europe. I also met myself. That's how I felt. I started going to Cannes at the age of 20 with films in the short film corner and as a part of the Marché du Film market. Mm-hmm. And I promised myself that I would go every year for the rest of my life.
Wow.
In 2011, I met an Afro-Portuguese teen photographer on the streets.
Wow.
This movie is not about him.
No.
But we became friends, and I thought it'd be interesting to tell a story from the perspective of someone like him, which is the Black kid that you don't often get to see.
How did you come about bringing the cast together to kind of make a film like this? Because they were just so brilliant. I was amazed at the young boy he played the role. I couldn't believe that he took on such a role with such authenticity that I almost felt like I could feel every single pain he was going through.
Yeah, he's brilliant. I have to agree that they were terrific. It was extremely difficult to find the actors, and we lost people along the way. The young lady who plays the role of Brown Girl, mm-hmm. and I call her that because she needs no name or introduction. She's fabulous. She read an article about my film on Shadow and Act, mm-hmm. and actually reached out to me on Facebook. And as soon as I saw her profile picture, I said, that's the girl I've been looking for. And I said, I don't know who she is or what, her story is, but I'm gonna write her and ask her if she would like to be in a film. And then when I opened the message and saw that she had written me, I knew it was gonna work.
Wow.
She auditioned twice over Skype, and then she was a student at DePaul in Chicago, and she literally flew in for 2 days and went back to school. It was her first film that she had ever done. And
Isn't that amazing?
She's absolutely brilliant. She has a lot of theater training, and I think that it really shows in her performance.
It really does show in her performance. And what was like her story, like her part in the film had, you know, what were you kind of hoping for your audience to kind of gather from her role with, you know, the boy, which essentially she had such an influence on him that made him come out of himself and think differently?
Yeah, well, the backstory of her character is that she's sort of struggling in her own household and not really getting the love from her father that she feels that she needs. And the purpose that she serves in his life is that she's just a friend, just somebody who really sees him. The entire film, we're watching things from his perspective, but she's the only person who sees him. Daryl Lake, who is the lead actor, is actually 27 years old now. He was 26 when we made the film.
He looks about 18, isn't he?
I know. That's because that's how great of an actor he is.
Yeah.
There's something about an actor changing their mental psychology on the inside that makes them appear different on the outside, differently.
He put in a brilliant actor performance. I was just, you know, it's a massive requirement to take on a role that involves something that's so incredibly, you know, difficult to play, and he just did it brilliantly.
For sure. And not only did he understand the emotional story that we were trying to tell, but he doesn't speak French or Portuguese.
Wow.
And he almost has a bit of a British accent because he's from Sierra Leone, who was colonized by
by the UK.
Yeah, so for him to be able to pick up that accent in both of those languages, and it was probably maybe a week, few days, and only a couple of sessions. But he tries so hard that you really believe that he is a French speaker.
Oh, absolutely.
Jean-Pierre Vertus, who plays the role of Gaspard, the mother's boyfriend, is a really, really nice guy. He's
he's a nice guy. Oh, thank goodness for that. I was hoping you were going to say that.
He's really nice. He's a model. He does a lot of print work. And you would never imagine that he would play a character that was so dark. He's from Haiti, so French is his first language.
Oh, wow.
The mother, Augustine, who's played by Michael Bizet, she is from Martinique.
Wow.
And she lived in France, and so French is her first language also. So she was a gift to this movie. I think that she was fabulous.
No, she was brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a great team there. Now, again, it's going through the different coming of age story, but
Yes.
you really went, you know, deep with the subject that, you know, we sort of hear about, you know, rape and things that, but this is a situation that happens to a, you know, a young man. Were you trying to sort of make an advocate that, listen, hey, this kind of happens in every different scenario, and it can even happen in your own home, it can happen in different situations, and it can happen to guys too?
Absolutely. It does happen to young men. We don't talk about it enough, unfortunately, but rape or sexual abuse is not something that just happens to women.
That's right.
A lot of teenagers in general are suffering in their own homes, and people don't really know about it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
What was it like, you know, making a film, half the film in the United States and half the film in France, and how much both those countries have influenced your filmmaking? Was it quite amazing to sort of make a film in sort of two different countries and sort of combine this thing together?
Well, I think that, it absolutely was amazing, but it was extremely risky. We shot the majority of the film in LA. Obviously, the entire film takes place in France. We did 4 days of production here, and I was watching the dailies. This was in November 2013, and I was watching the dailies, and I told my dad, this is great, but we really need to have him walking up and down the streets of Cannes. And everybody thought I was crazy. They said, you're going to go all the way to Cannes just to have your actor walk up and down the street. And my dad said, you're the only one who's afraid, just do it. And so over Christmas break, I was still a student at USC, so all of my producers had gone home for the holiday, and I was with my family in Detroit. I began within 4 days to try to put together an overseas production.
Wow.
Which was crazy because we didn't have any crew, we didn't have a camera, we didn't necessarily, there's a woman that I rent from regularly, so I knew that I would have a place to stay, and I have a driver that I use. I had to rent vans and all sorts of equipment and get meals for the actors, and I did not know how I was going to do it, but I really believed that it was necessary, and I had faith that it could happen.
You really went. That's so amazing. You did that. You know, to get that extra essence of your film, which was, I think, very important, and it certainly shows. You kind of mentioned maybe what your biggest challenge is, but what was your biggest challenge in kind of making this film? I guess that was kind of a big challenge just there, wasn't it?
Well, going to Cannes was definitely a challenge because I had gone so often, so many times. I felt comfortable because I understood mentally what the landscape was. But I mean, we've had so many challenges, from losing actors to having producers who've had to move on for different reasons, and but I think the biggest challenge is maintaining my individual voice as a director. Anytime you make a film in an academic environment in a university, you're going to always be subjected to everyone else's opinion, which is fabulous because that's what film school is for, so that you can learn from people who have a different perspective. But that can also, there's a fine line between learning and being swayed by someone else's opinion when you're smack dab in the middle of your creative process. So that was really tough, knowing when to listen and knowing when to know what I knew. And there were a lot of times that other people could not necessarily see my vision, and I was terrified. There was a lot of money on the line, there was a lot at stake, but I had to know that what I knew was correct. And so that was really the challenge. So, I mean, aside from just going to Cannes, the fact that going to Cannes was technically difficult, but having the vision to believe that it was necessary was the challenge.
Yeah, I feel like you just got everything covered. I mean, the cinematography was just beautiful as well. Like it just all sort of really fitted well together. So you did a very good job. Now you've come from Detroit, Michigan, and you've only been here 4 years. You've accomplished quite a lot already. It's quite amazing. What's your journey been like since you've been in Los Angeles, and what is next for you?
Well, I have to say, you gave me a compliment on the cinematography, and I have to give credit to my cinematographer, Tommy Maddox Upshaw. He and I are like brother and sister, and I could not have done any of it without having him as a partner. He's truly a genius. I just have to say
he really is. The opening shot, and I was like, this guy's brilliant. This guy's brilliant,
Yeah, he's fabulous.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. So for you, like, you've come from Detroit, Michigan, journey the way to the big LA, and you've been here 4 years and have accomplished so much already. What's kind of your journey next?
Well, I came here in the fall of 2011 because I got accepted into USC's graduate degree program for cinematic arts. Before that, I had started a film production company with my best friend in Detroit at the age of 19. I'm 27 now, and we'd made about 10 short films and some different web series things, and we'd gone to Cannes a bunch of times. So I kind of already understood what my voice was, but I always say that USC gave me the polish. So I came out here. I got my MFA in May 2014 from USC. I was an artist in residence at Sundance. I was one of 4 people in the country to be chosen to be a Sundance Night Fellow.
That's impressive.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Wow, that's amazing.
In January, so I was an artist in residence in January. I was a directing fellow for Film Independence Project Involved, which is a really great program. I am an educator. I have a Bachelor of Music Education because I'm a harpist. But I use my...
Wow. It's like you... I mean, really, it's amazing.
I'm a harpist and a pianist.
That's incredible.
Thank you. But I use my knowledge of teaching to start a program for 6th grade visual and performing arts at a public charter school in Inglewood, and they were doing beginning in advanced screenwriting, film history, film analysis, and now I'm going to be moving on and being a part-time professor at Loyola Marymount's School of Film and Television in the fall. So,
I mean, I mean that's amazing. I mean, so many wonderful accolades, and it just shows what happens when you architect the work and put the work in, and how much you can actually achieve. What's it like to have, once you've put all the hard work into making your film, to be officially selected for NewFilmmakers Los Angeles?
it was really great. It was really great. It's an absolute honor. It always means something to know when you know that somebody else got what you were trying to say and they were moved by that. So I've been very pleased with my experience.
Well, we were certainly moved, and thank you for bringing such an incredible story to us, because you literally had people on the edge of their seats watching your film, and I haven't seen quite a reaction by an audience where they just almost wanted to jump in the screen. So if you haven't seen it, you've got to watch it to find out what happens. But thank you so much. You're very talented,
Thank
and
you. I appreciate that.
congratulations, and we look forward to seeing more of your films.
Thank you.
Thank you.